Now I have a great pleasure to introduce here a person who is leading MSL Group's digital and social globally. But before Stanislas joins me here, I want to say a big thank you. Here is a sweetheart, an amazing woman who is helping Webit since it was a long time ago. And Maria was actually the first PR agency who helped Webit on the year #1 to grow to this global footprint. She did it for Bulgaria, but obviously it was a great thing. So Maria, come on the stage, I just want to kiss you. Come here. Just a kiss, nothing else. I hope Stefan is not here, huh?
Thank you, dear.
So, I'm absolutely happy to welcome on stage Stanislas, MSL Group, responsible for digital and social. Thanks for joining us, sir. Good having you here.
Thank you. Hi. Sorry, I'm not a swimsuit model. I understand it's the expectation here today, but you'll just have to deal with me. Yeah, I just had a very interesting lunch actually with representatives of a fairly large brand, and I hope they're not in the room because I'm going to totally contradict myself after 2 hours of talking about advocacy and influencers. When we were discussing the topic of this panel with the organizers, I suggested this one very selfishly because this is a topic I'm particularly interested in these days. Who in this room, show of hands, who works for an agency or a brand where they've been asked to produce something viral? Okay. Who has been asked to make their product as popular as the iPhone? Okay. Usually it happens, and even though you might be making, toothpaste or dishwasher soap, it never fails. I want this to go viral. It's not going to happen. It doesn't mean there's nothing you can do about it. And a lot of this really stems from Facebook. Obviously, Facebook is not the internet. We had blogs and forums and all sorts of things before it. But with Facebook, brands no longer just want consumers. That's so yesterday. Consumers, as if we needed consumers to buy our stuff. Yeah, we need consumers, but we want to reach for the sky. What we really want is we want fans. Lots of them, and we'll pay for them even. We want a lot of them. Supporters, that's one notch higher. Fans, supporters. Why did I pick the Obama campaign? Because there was you could almost feel it when you were talking to clients after the 2008 Obama campaign and the success of myBarackObama.com. You remember that gigantic social network that played a big role in mobilizing the grassroots for Obama. 13 million emails, hundreds of thousands of supporters coordinating the campaign on the ground with that. And suddenly brands were like, whoa, I want that. But it's not the same thing when you're Obama, a transformational historical figure, and toothpaste. You don't have people willing to go knock on door for you to sell you toothpaste for the love of the toothpaste. You do it to change the country. You do it to lead a revolution, to change healthcare. But this is great toothpaste. Please buy it. No. Advocates, always referring back to the Apple model. They want advocates, people that are so passionate about the brand that they wear it on their sleeve, they wear it on themselves. They are just constantly trying to sell it to you. Everything they do is showing how much they love Apple and how boring you are if you don't love Apple. So fundamentally, what they want is amplification. That's the big buzzword these days. Used to be viral, now it's amplification. We want to amplify your message, respond on your behalf, I'll get back to that, and create this multiplier effect where a few advocates at the bottom of the funnel will progressively evangelize, convert more and more people, and basically do your marketing work for you because they love you so much. But most brands are not like that. They are not people you would be willing to, you know, tattoo yourself for. Yeah, it's crazy what you find on Google Image. I mean, yeah, Yahoo, really? But it doesn't work for everybody. Obviously, some brands, I understand Fender if you're a guitar player, Google, Apple, obviously, but again, it doesn't work for everyone. So here's the dilemma that I'm facing on a regular basis with some clients. Especially, I do a lot of work personally in the corporate and B2B space. I happen to love my client in the insurance industry. I know it sounds weird. Right now I'm working with professional accountants. You have no idea how sexy that is on social media, but they're very active. But you're not going to go viral with accounting or insurance, or for bad reasons. So obviously you have to be clear about that from the start. Does it mean that you can't do anything? No, you can, especially in the B2B space, in professional services, you can do stuff and make sure you're known and heard. What brands want, they want advocates who know our products and services, who are credible, very important, and who can help us engage with customers at scale. Because that's often the case. When you're on social media, you're like, great, I've got my Facebook page, and then I've got 50,000 fans. How do I engage with them? There's only one of me, and I take weekends and holidays. Scale is the biggest issue in social media, and you can't have that to be automated. So very often you look outside. Where are my advocates? How can I convert customers? How can I create a system where I have people doing this multiplier effect for me? And very often we just forget that your best advocates can actually be inside your company. Again, especially if you're in the B2B service or professional services. I was looking at this great campaign by Intel this morning. Intel is one of the best companies on earth doing this type of advocacy and engagement of its employees because, yes, they're nerdy and geeky, but they're brilliant and they are the best to talk about a microprocessor or a certain technology, and they can speak about it better than anyone else can. Some stats, will employees want to share news? Yes, they would. More importantly, they're more credible than the CEO of the company or the, God forbid, the marketing or PR director. They are instantly more like me. I can relate to them, and if they say this product is good, this service is good because so and so, you're more inclined to trust them. So the multiplier effect, it's quite simple. And we use it with a few of our clients, and we see it's very interesting, not just in terms of quantitative numbers, and I'll get back to that, but also in terms of engaging your employees. You always have, in every company, you always have those few evangelists that love to share, that love to talk about what they do, and they just send emails all the time. If you could just get them to communicate that passion externally, it gets really powerful. So it's as simple as that, basically. With your employees, you're going to have people you can basically trust a lot more. And if you can set up the system, then they can amplify the content you produce. Again, the name of the game these days is very much content. How do you get it out there? Well, ask your employees to help you get it out there. And they can help you. They have their own social networks, and they can help you get it out there. Again, for professional services, it's great because if you're an engineer or if you're a lawyer or if you're an accountant, you have access to networks that are very specific, very qualified, people that you have gone to engineering school with or accounting school with or business school or law school. So you can reach people that are highly qualified and highly relevant to your industry, which you would have a very, very hard time getting to using traditional advertising and marketing. Here's a simulation. Take 5,000 employees, and that's a big number. You do the math. Hopefully, it's right. I didn't check, but I'm sure it is. And obviously, you achieve that multiplier effect. It can be that simple. So it's not rocket science. It's a lot. It seems very easy on paper. It tends to be a lot harder in practice, because oftentimes clients are like, well, but our employees don't have the time, or we don't know how to ask them, or we don't know what to ask of them. I mean, if you can't even do it with your employees, why are you trying to get, people on the outside to do it for you? I mean, this should be a no-brainer. These are just some of the companies that are doing it, mostly American companies, mostly in the tech space, but it works very well in the B2B space. I'll show you an example in a second. And it's convenient. This is an example. We have implemented that in our own company, because we happen to be professional communicators, so it might make sense for us to help the company communicate its message. It's that simple. So it's that simple. We use a software. It's called Gaggle. There are plenty of other software out there. And what I like about it is that basically I happen to have work during the day, and I'm not all the time on Facebook and Twitter, not as much as I would like it. And basically, I will get a notification in my inbox that my company has posted this great tweet or this great blog post. And as I'm, part of this advocacy program, would I like to share it? So I get that in an email format. I'm not stuck on email. I'm not stuck on Twitter. I might be traveling. I might not be, there might be the time zone differences and all. So I see it. I'm like, yeah, sure. And I have a button at the bottom that says share now on Twitter or share now on LinkedIn. It took me about 2 seconds to read it and press that button and amplify this to a few hundred people or maybe a few thousand people. Cost nothing to the company. It cost me two seconds, and I'm happy I did it, and they're happy I did it. It was easy and simple and pain-free. It's measurable. Oh boy, is that important. Metrics. Because when you do advocacy program, it's always complicated to, how many people have you reached, so on and so forth. So those tools are, again, you can put real metrics in front of that, and you can track how much you've amplified the reach of your message. In this case, this is taken from a client of ours who is in the IT industry. It's a competitor of Accenture, if you will. And it hasn't cost them much to set that up, just the cost of the license of the software. And they've achieved the kind of reach that they could never achieve without massive advertising. From the first month that they implemented this, they had more traffic to their website in August than they had ever had in the previous years. And simply by asking volunteers to take part. And it's engaging. You can add, most of these tools now have a gamification layer so that you can actually create incentives for people to participate. So you get points. Every time you share a tweet, it's 5 points. Every time you share on LinkedIn, it might be 10 points. I think it's at Deloitte Consulting. They have a system like this, and at some point they created an incentive. Whoever shares the most and gets the most points will get a Mars bar. You wouldn't believe what accountants do for a Mars bar. It wasn't an iPad. It wasn't a trip to Hawaii. It was a Mars bar. But you get to compete against your peers, and you get to win something, and you get to say it, and it's fun. It's just fun and simple. And at the end of the day, even the cool brands do it now. So it's not a secondary option for brands that are not Red Bull or that are not Nike and that cannot get advocates in the real world. It works for everyone. Coca-Cola is a very good example. This is something they launched just a couple of months ago, I think, because there are lots of people who love Coca-Cola. Some of you might be drinking Coke right now, but will they respond on behalf of Coca-Cola about its products, about questions about nutrition? Will they defend Coca-Cola if it's attacked in the healthcare debate at some point, or if it's attacked for water consumption? All of those issues that are typical issues that soft drink companies face. No, you might love Coca-Cola, you might drink a Coke every day, but you have no reason to get involved in the nutrition debate whatsoever. Again, or sports, you know, they promote sports a lot. Who, again, is best positioned to help you with that? It's your own employees, your own advocates. And again, if you train them not to do spin, if you explain to them that what you're expecting of them is to actually tell the truth and share their passion, you'll be amazed at how far you can go and how much trust you can build for your brand. Thank you. I should have changed this slide because I recently learned that the proper way to say thank you in Bulgarian is actually the Frenchmerci. So
That's quite international, isn't it? Merci. Merci beaucoup for joining.
Merci.
Merci. Well, that was a great presentation, wasn't it? But wait.